Hi, this is Marcia, and welcome to Module 4, the Learner Profile. In this module, we're going to be walking you through how to develop and to create a Learner Profile card. All right, this is not going to be easy. I'm going to be honest. This is going to be hard because of the fact that there's no easy way to get all the data from all these different websites that we're using into one cute little package. So what we're going to do is we're going to try our best to figure out how to take all that data and put it all together. So what I'm going to walk you through a sample profile card and talk about the different data points. I'm going to walk you through some learning style quizzes to help you gain the information about, is the student a kinetic learner, logistic learner, is this a auditory learner? We're going to talk about some strengths and weaknesses for leadership. And then we're going to also talk about the mastery of content. We are no longer going by the pacing guides and having the students do it just to get through, but personalized learning really looks at the mastery of content. So that's what we're going to be doing as well. It's going to be it's going to be a fun journey, but it will be a journey. So let's get started. We've got a lot to cover. Personalized learning profile cards created by no other but me, Marcia Kish. All right, I'm going to start off by showing you a profile card that I used in my 5th grade classrooms. This is what I kind of created to kind of show what my students are doing and how to progress them forward. Now, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. This is just my example. If you have a better way of creating the profile cards, go for it. There is not going to be one way and done. But what I did was I looked at the whole student and I looked at his individual strengths and weaknesses. I looked at the number of standards that the student had to cover. I looked at the way they wanted to access information, the way they wanted to engage with information, the way they wanted to express, which is basically showcasing their information, and what goals they had. So I kind of put it all together in this card-like information. Let me walk you through it. So first of all, at the top of the page, I had the student's name and working on year 5 standards. Because basically, if you're really in a personalized learning environment, you might have students in maybe 2nd grade standards and some in 6th grade standards, but they're all in that age bracket, the same as a 5th grade student. So you want to keep track of where they are. Since my friend Caden was an average student, he kind of was staying with the 5th grade standard base. But I did have students in math or in social studies in different standards. So that's kind of why I said year 5. Now, I looked at the way that Caden learned best. How did I get this? I went through a learner profile quiz, and I had the students all take this quiz to give me some information back. He's a very kinesthetic learner. He's very visual. He's auditory. But reading and writing, that wasn't his forte at all. So these numbers are just as far as like a quick demonstration to me as far as where is Caden on that scale. How would I best fit his needs in a quick visual idea? The numbers mean nothing other than for me to remember that, oh yeah, Caden really likes to move. Got it. All right. So next I look at the 4 common areas of education. We have science, ELA, math, and social studies. Yes, I know there are way more than just those. We have drama and physical education and all different things that tie into it, foreign language, but these are the ones I focused in on that year. Add in what you want. But what I did was, and Caden saw this, other students saw it, teachers saw it, parents saw it, but what I said was like, okay, let's look at where you are in these different areas. Okay, the ELA, you're above standards. Hey, that's great, but you know what? Social studies, not a forte. So you're below target. So how can I get you up? And it was just a quick conversation. And he's like, you're right. I'm not really trying my hardest. I need to learn more about the Boston Tea Party. Like, right. Gotta learn more about the Boston Tea Party. So we kind of had like just a quick little visual. I love the students having ownership of a quick photo. This Caden loved this photo. It was of his summer vacation. So he wanted me to put that in as his profile pic. All right, number of standards completed. So let's look at math. So it says math, 1, 6. That's the first 9 weeks he completed 6 standards. Not just completed, he mastered 6 of the standards. In the second 9 weeks, he mastered 4 of the standards. The goal for the year is how many standards in a typical year 5 standard space, how many of those goals should an average student complete? And right now it was 22. So like he had to get to goal of 22 standards in math in order to move forward. That's kind of how I got above and below, was based on the number of standards that the students had to master within each content. So this is just a quick little thing. So ELA, third 9 weeks, Caden completed 3, or mastered, I should keep saying completed, he mastered 3 standards. Now, this is how they want to access information. This was just a conversation. We talked about it as a whole group. Each day we talked about one of the areas, like access. We explained to them, what are some of the strengths? Like when I talked about how you want to access information, that means how do you want to take it in? Do you want me to stand up in front of the class? Do you want to listen to it? Do you want to read it? What are the ways that you best want to take in that information? And so the students would write down what they best did. Now, you could do this in a whole group. You could do it in a mini lesson. You could do it as kind of like a survey question. And then I also asked them challenges. What are some things that challenge them? Kids will tell you a lot of stuff. That's why I kind of like doing it individually or in a mini lesson, because I had the ability to quickly write down, and they could write down too. But just them talking out loud really captured how they really like to learn. How do you like to engage with it? Like are you a leader? Do you like to be the one like kind of sitting back and watching? So those were some of the ways like how they engage with that content. Once they learn it, what's the best way? Do they just absorb it and that's it? Or do they learn it and they want to share it? So what's the best way that they're engaging with that content? Express. How do you want to showcase your information? Do you want to create a video? Do you want to create a paper? Do you want to do a poster? Do you want to do something digital, offline? Do you want to take a test? So the students, we talked about that. And in my 5th grade classroom, when I gave a test, I gave 5 different ways to take that test. They could take it verbally with me. They could take it online, paper, pencil. They had the option. I mean, if they came up with something different, sure, let's try it. And then finally, what are their goals? What do they want to do? Like, what are some of their short-term goals and intermediate, sorry, I can't even talk, some middle goals and then long-term goals. So we wanted to talk about like how their goals were and how we could progress through that. One thing I did add to the profile card now is their passion and interest. I really wish I would have had that on the card when I was working with the students. So in the template you get today, you will see that you're going to be able to add in passion and interest. Now let's talk about where I got some of this information. Before I do that, let's go back. So those profile cards I made, you can also do it on Google Doc. If you like Google Docs, here's an example. You can go in, take a look at these profile cards. You can take a look at that website. You can go in and build it yourself. There's different tabs across the bottom to help you fill it in. If that's the way you want to do the profile cards, have at it. Learning style. This is where we got the learning style quiz. So you can go in, answer 20 questions. If you have a student who's a non-reader, read the questions out loud to them or her, and then go ahead and fill in the answers for them. And then also, like, are you an introvert or an extrovert? This is kind of fun personality test that we like to use just to kind of get to know our students. So you can go in, have the students take this test. Great way to kind of just make sure that you get to know the student as a whole. And then finally, remember in the beginning I said all that data is coming into us from all these different parts? Well, we want to make sure that when we're getting that data, we have a place to store it. So we created I can statements for each grade level, and it just says like, okay, I can do X, Y, and Z, and where did I see that at? I saw it in Front Row, I saw it in Khan Academy, I saw it in a mini lesson, I saw it when they were doing independent practice, Future Ready. Because if we mark it off that they mastered as standard, we want to make sure that we're really going through diligently and making sure that the student really masters that schedule or standard. And I said below, approaching, as standard, exceeding. That's just kind of like helping me as a teacher to make sure that, oh yeah, I introduced it on January 8th, but then again on the 19th, and I'm really seeing the student getting it. I'm going to give them a quick little assessment to see if they understand that standard. That's it. That's not too hard, was it? So the next part, I'm going to actually walk you through how to edit the profile cards that are located on this module. So I'll see you on part 2.